can you benefit from reading the Bible if you don't have special theological education or knowledge of Greek and Hebrew? Welcome to the Shalom Learning Center Lectorium. The purpose of these lectures is to provide you with helpful tips in reading Bible in your home if you do not have theological education and you don't know Hebrew and Greek. And we continue on the next subject, and the subject is which version to choose for our reading. Again, we talked about the conspiracy theories regarding the new translations, and please be rest assured that there is no conspiracy in making new translations, but there is a necessity to respond to the change of the language and to respond to the new achievements in the science of biblical studies. So that's why, especially in the field of English language, more than in any other languages, we have so many translations of the Bible. For example, we have several translations of German Bible. We have several translations of French Bible, or Bible in French. We have several translations of Bible in Spanish. Now we even have several translations of the Bible in Russian. But we have over 60 English translations. So how to navigate them? This is the goal of this episode. So in the previous episode, I was explaining that different translations have different purposes. And as I explained, we have, first of all, we have to read the introduction and distinguish between the paraphrase and the translation. And the difference is, paraphrase is actually an interpretation of the biblical text by a minister or a scholar who does the paraphrase. So I'm thinking like about Patterson's message. I am thinking about Jack Blanca's clear word. I'm thinking about Living Bible and so forth. These are paraphrases. When you read the introduction to the Bible, they're not going to lie to you. They'll tell, this is the paraphrase. And the goal of the paraphrase, basically, when you read a paraphrase, it's basically the same as if you were reading or listening to somebody's sermon. So the preacher would use the text of the Bible and would provide exposition on a text of the Bible. So paraphrase is very similar to what could be called as expository sermon. So if your goal is to understand the Bible, I would not recommend you using the paraphrase. I personally never used them for myself. And again, this is confusing. If you keep reading paraphrases over and over and over and over, you will remember the Bible text wrong, because you will have in your memory part of the text of the Bible and part of the thought that an author of the paraphrase inserted. Now, of course, paraphrase is very attractive because its English is very, very smooth. But again, if you want to remember your Bible text and make a progress in your understanding of the Bible, do not use paraphrases. Now, when we get to translations, you have two different types. And I'm not going to explain to you again about the Good News Bible. There are several simplified versions. Like you have similar, like Good News Bible, not to the Good News Bible. It's called the Bible in Simple English. This is good for a missionary who goes to a foreign country and teaches people both the Bible and English. So this is what these type of translations are. But then you're left with two types, mainly. A dynamic translation, where a translator focuses on the quality, the smoothness of the flow of English, and literal translation, where the translator makes their best effort to preserve the original text as much as possible. Of course, there is a limit to this. So a typical example could be New International Bible, which is a dynamic translation, and New American Standard Bible. One thing I want to immediately indicate for you, the English-speaking listeners, because English is a diverse. You have several versions of English, and that's why when you see New American Standard Bible, expect that all spellings and other elements, editorial elements in the text will be in American English. So it's the counterpart to the New American Standard Bible is the New Revised Standard Bible, which is more popular in the UK. It's also very literal translation as the New American Standard. And I know some readers whom I gave the New American Standard Bible. They noticed that the text of the Bible is not as smooth. It's kind of a little rough. Some people that are doing editorial work or writing work say, oh, this is not even English. Yes, guess what? This is what you get when you try to preserve Hebrew or Greek. This is not going to be that English that you are used to or working with. So then you have New International Bible. And again, the international would mean that it's actually international English. So it's neither American nor British. If you want to get British English and dynamic translation, there is a New English Bible, but I've never seen it even sold here in America. But I have the text of it. Another new dynamic translation that came out in the recent years, it's English Standard Version, ESV. It's also dynamic translation. so they're trying to make it into a smooth English. But again, I'm still looking at the ESVs. I don't have my particular recommendations about the ESV, but I will give you recommendation to the Bibles that I am used to. And again, please do not go into conspiracy theories when you see the NIV. The goal of NIV is to present a current international best English possible, and of course it comes at a cost. But for whom is this translation? That's very important, because it's not about, oh, this translation is wrong, let's throw it away and burn it. No, it's for whom this translation. And my recommendation, and this is what I do, I give to every one of the young people, to the young people. I would recommend, I have young people who study in Bible in some of my classes, like teenagers. You start teenagers, school kid, with New International. New American Standard is going to be a little bit difficult. You know how sometimes a different texts are classified. Oh, this text is for, you need to be 12, like 8th grader to understand this text, and this text is for college, so forth. So, New International Bible, its advantages that it's simple enough that a teenager can actually understand and enjoy it. And of course, young people graduate from school, and my personal recommendation, at some point, young people need to graduate from the New International Bible into a more adult Bible. My two favorite adult Bibles are New American Standard or New King James Bible. In fact, in my presentations, preachings, lectures, and teaching, I use more often the New King James Bible, which is basically a remake of the traditional King James Bible. It's a pretty decent translation, and people are telling me that it doesn't it reads smoother than New American Standard Bible. But both of these Bibles are good. Again, remember my first recommendation. Please stick with one. Then you will remember your text very well. And good luck with your study of the Bible.